Congressman Eric Swalwell has represented the 15th District of California since 2013. As a presidential candidate in 2020, he qualified for the first Democratic presidential debate. As a member of the House Judiciary Committee, he helped prosecute the impeachment case against President Trump. And after the insurrection on January 6th of this year, he was named a House impeachment manager to lead the second impeachment trial against President Trump. Congressman Swalwell, thank you very much for coming on.
Of course, Brad, it's an honor, and congratulations on the podcast.
Hey, thank you for helping us christen our podcast. I want to begin with an op-ed you published in April on NBCnews.com. The title of it was "Republicans Smear Me on Fox News and Then Want to Grab Dinner." And I'm hoping you could tell me the story of what happened behind the scenes.
It's felt for a very long time like I work at the World Wrestling entertainment organization rather than the greatest legislative body in the world, where we're supposed to make changes that impact people's lives. And what I mean by that is I've seen Republican colleagues of mine say the worst things about me on television, and then we pass each other in the hallways of Congress, and they'll be like, "Hey, Swalwell, how's it going? Great job last night on whatever interview you did." And actually the crescendo was during the impeachment trial of the president. I bumped into Ted Cruz in the men's bathroom in the Senate, and he said, "Hey, you did a really good job out there." And he could tell I was surprised, and he said, "No, I really mean it. You did a great job." And I just thought, what the hell is going on? We're in a system where they can hit me over the head with a steel chair in the ring, and then backstage we're supposed to, quote unquote, bro out because I'm supposed to know it's fake and they're just doing it for the fans. And it just feels cheap. It feels sick, and it's not what the people who we're supposed to represent expect. And I've concluded that many of my Republican colleagues, they look at the people they represent not as constituents, but as fans. And so you just give the fans what they want. And then Cruz and we shouldn't take it personally because, hey, we all know it's just for entertainment. And I think that's really plaguing what we're charged to do, whether it's, raising wages in this country, expanding healthcare, keeping us safe from the threats abroad. If I don't know what my colleagues on the other side, what their core principles are, it makes it really hard, to quote unquote collaborate or compromise with them if it's really just give the fans what they want. And so I thought it was time to call it out and kind of lift the curtain for people to see what goes on backstage.
And I have to admit, I'm surprised to hear you relay that anecdote about Senator Cruz, because he plays that role from the outside so well. It surprises me that he would even say that. I guess from the outside, I almost saw him as a true believer. So you've exposed in some way that performative quality that he's so successful with.
Brad, I want to say something really controversial that I have also concluded that if you and I were out to dinner and we bumped into Ted Cruz or Jim Jordan or, Matt Gaetz, if they sat down and talked to us for 15 minutes, you would say, "Hey, those are nice guys." And that's what I think makes it so sick, is that they know that what they're doing is not really what they believe in, or maybe it is what they believe in, but if they really believe that I'm the enemy that they tell people I am, and my colleagues are the enemies that they tell people I am, then why would you want to be so nice to me when no one is looking? Which I can only infer that they don't really believe that again, it's just all about, the fandom. I will give credit to one person, and this will also probably shock you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. When she walks past me in the halls of Congress, she gives me a look of death, like I am her mortal enemy. And she believes what she is saying. I've concluded that too. She's not trying to bro out. She's not complimenting me. She believes the crazy that she's, perpetuating out there. And I respect that a hell of a lot more than someone who I don't even know what you believe. You just think this is about quote unquote fans.
Yeah. So let's stick with Congresswoman Greene for a moment, because there's something that I call the outrage fundraising cycle. And by that, what I mean is that they'll tweet something out or they'll say something totally outrageous. And then their enemies or their opponents will attack them, and they will use the attacks of their enemies to then fundraise off of them because they're, in their minds, all of the right enemies. So in some way, there's this perverse incentive of sorts for them to continue this kind of behavior. And so I'm wondering, from your perspective, do you see any hope for that? Because if that perverse incentive doesn't get reversed, I think we're only going to see even more of that kind of performative behavior from the Congressman Gateses and the Congresswoman Greens of the world.
We've got to get rid of the dirty money and the dirty maps. And that's the structural issue that really threatens our democracy is that, you have just this constant fundraising cycle. And on top of that, you have congressional lines that are drawn to protect politicians and their friends by the party in power. We passed the For the People Act, which would have an independent commission in every state so that, God forbid, we rely on math and geography, not protecting any party, Democratic or Republican, that's in power. And then on the money, that you're not constantly having to fundraise, because we will strip down to the studs the Citizens United ruling, which allows all this unlimited money to drop in to our campaigns. And so I think because of dirty money and dirty maps, it has polluted our Congress. And so, yes, for short-term fundraising, you make a quick buck by saying something crazy, but you're not doing anything that is really moving the ball on the kitchen table issues that most people, really care about. So I think if we do not take on the maps and the money, these issues are not going away, and we're going to see, the Congress pulled to the fringes.
Thanks for watching this video clip of the Speak Good podcast. If you'd like to hear the complete episode, please check out your favorite podcast directory and subscribe now. Thanks for watching.